Hello everybody, and welcome to GameCola.net's video walkthrough for Zero Escape Virtue Slash Reward for the 3DS. GameCola.net, gaming outside the mainstream.
It's gaming beyond the mic. Blah. See, here I was going to make a funny joke referring to something that nobody knows about because we were recording before this happened, and then, well, I've ruined it all. I've ruined your video, and I've only been here for 30 seconds. Hi, I'm Nathaniel.
I'm Nikola.
Nathaniel is our stalwart YouTube channel administrator.
So it only goes to show I only know how to administrate and no idea how to do commentary anymore, I guess.
So what we're watching right here is the scene which plays if you don't actually start the game.
Yeah, the one that spoils almost like half the things in the game.
Yeah, it shows you exactly what happens in all of the main plot points.
Frankly, I find this more exciting than the rest of the game because it isn't just people standing there talking at each other, occasionally changing their pose to do some funny-looking face or some angry-looking face.
So, in this video, we are starting the Alice pathway, which requires you to go through the Cyan door first, so you can reach the crew quarters. And there is a version of this video walkthrough without commentary, so if you don't like the lovely sound of our voices, you can watch that video.
I'm watching that video right now, in fact. That's how I know what we're talking about. Well, that was a fun game. Oh, it just started. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm told that opening cutscene was one of the most popular videos that the company made ever. And it confused them because, as you saw, it's in English, not Japanese, but they got like 12,000 more hits on the English version than the Japanese one. And it convinced them, hey, maybe we should release this game in English at the same time as we release the Japanese version.
So as a recap for people who are just walking in off the street to see this, or people have kind of forgotten what happened last time. What happened last time? I remember there was Zero Senior telling us about termites.
Yeah, Zero Senior likes termites. And he thinks that humans are like termites and that we're building a gigantic mound, which is beautiful.
And that was the whole video.
Well, after that, Quark wrote a novel about 10 Myoji. Yeah. It literally took 25 minutes to get through the novel. 25 minutes of nothing but exposition. There were no characters talking or anything. It was just you reading for 25 minutes.
Yeah, he had 20 minutes to write 10 pages worth on 2 pages that took us half an hour to read.
Yeah, whatever.
Sigma is not very fast at reading.
So I'm wondering, we were also talking about the book that was in Latin being large and then small, the size changing book. Maybe they just write text really tiny in this universe. Fit a lot more on a page, and the book is small.
That could be possible. That happens a lot, but no, I don't think that's usually... I don't think that's the case because it's a journal and this is somebody writing notes for themselves. If it was a printed book, I would accept that.
Well, they could be writing really tiny notes so nobody knows how to read it. They say, it's so small, I can't decipher your notes. Well, it's a secret. You're not supposed to be reading my journal.
Well, I already wrote my journal in another language. You think that would be enough to disguise it?
That's only one security measure.
Or maybe the person was just really tiny. That's just their normal writing size.
I'm going to go with that theory.
Speaking of theories, I have one I'm going to lay on you.
Okay.
So June, Akane, from the first game, had a kid, Quark.
Yeah?
Abandoned him. He's the orphan, right? Quark grows up to be Tenmyoji, goes back in time to take care of himself. That's why he's so protective.
That makes sense.
I actually like that theory, yeah.
Here, let me supplement that theory. Let's say that Quark is the person who wrote the diary in Latin. Because we've confirmed that he writes really, really tiny.
Why would I know that anyway?
Let me supplement that theory even further. Everyone is cork.
Your guess is as good as mine.
No.
Think it might be a coal mine?
No?
Not
Oh, too crazy now?
everyone.
Maybe they're drilling for oil or something. I don't know about that.
Also, refresh my memory what Sigma looks like, because every time I'm just picturing
You want to go have a
Jumpy
look?
from the first game. Because he's
Um,
the only one who I remember a picture of. I don't remember if we ever saw Sigma aside from his arm.
We saw him
you
in
see
the
him-
opening cutscene.
No getting out of the hallway.
Yeah, and there's also the flashback where he gets kidnapped and he's wearing like that anarchist jacket.
Mm-hmm.
He's like he's more muscular than Jumpy.
Yeah, he's taller, but I don't want to give spoilers, so I won't.
Okay, this is awesome. My video just blacked out again.
Oh god.
Really?
So, I'm just gonna play along for a while. Maybe it'll
Okay,
correct
we're
itself.
eventually going to start exploring this room, so we haven't really done yet so far.
This is a good room too. I think this is my favorite of the three sort of like intro rooms you can go into.
Hmm.
I certainly like the color scheme here, black on black. It's very nice.
It
It's very
works.
minimalist.
And I know we got comments on our last video about whether all the colors together make black or if all the colors together make white. But I don't think that actually counts
Whoa.
because... Oh yeah, I'm showing off my watch there again. Huh.
You just love that thing.
Yeah,
Did you pre-order the game? Is that how you got that?
I did pre-order the game. That's how I got the fancy
Oh,
watch.
that's a pretty nifty bonus.
I want to see the nifty bonus.
Oh, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Ah.
But getting back to what I was saying, with color theory, black is a color. So I think that throws all color theory out the window. Because when you mix black with black, as Nathaniel is saying, what color do you get, Nathaniel? Do you get white?
No, I'm getting like gray and stylus black and bottom glowy screen now.
Ooh.
We're gonna have more comments on color theory in this video now. I hope you know.
Yeah,
Well,
I know. I hope they realize I'm just joking with them.
No. It's the difference between mixing colors with, for example, paint, and mixing colors with lights. Colored lights versus colored solid stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
here's...
we talked about that way back, I think in either the first or the second video, but now I think Michael just does it to bother me.
Well, no, here's my question. I know that you mix yellow paint with black paint to get gray. What color lights do you mix to get gray?
Light white and dark white.
Okay. But I thought
with a
white
hint
is
of
not
gray.
a primary color.
You're not a primary color.
Oh, oh no.
He is too.
Failed! It did just say failed, right?
Yep, you're very close to what we did. I tried to solve this puzzle a bit too early.
I think you're a couple of seconds ahead of me, so or maybe you can just see into the future.
I think it's both.
It's my termite sense at work.
Now, was that did I see a Clover poster over there?
You did see a Clover poster. We are going to take a look at the poster of Clover a little bit later. Right now I'm forming a key.
Okay.
Because there are 4 rooms here. Clover poster is going to be seen in a second.
Really?
There
That's
you go.
Clover?
Looks like her, pink hair.
Yeah.
Like the Chiquita Banana Girl's sister or something.
Sigma seems excited about it.
He does.
The ultimate in interactive poster technology. That's a market to be cornered, I'm telling you.
I guess. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to see the naughty bit, so this is extra step in here. I'm not sure who this is appealing to.
Well, it's appealing to Sigma, certainly.
His dorm room is just lined with these things.
Yeah, so that's a question. Do you think Sigma has a roommate?
Oh man, I hope not.
Well, okay,
Aren't
let's...
all of these people roommates right now?
Well, no, I'm saying at his house or wherever you call it, his apartment for college. Because
He
I know...
goes into his college dorm room and finds a companion, a roommate who he hates, and then these words appear. It says, "Seek a way out." And he's like, "I want to get out of this room. I don't want to room with you." And then he solves some life in the dorms puzzles to get himself away.
Yes.
I think this is the second puzzle so far where you have 2 key pieces that you have to put together to form one key. Like this.
You're right.
It's not a
There
very-
was one inside the laboratory, or the infirmary, I believe.
Yeah, the infirmary was the one. Yeah.
It's not a very creative puzzle.
No.
And furthermore, how
let
does that actually work? Unless he has glue, I don't see how he puts 2 key parts together to form a full key.
It's a Lego key.
Oh, okay.
Start snap in place.
So we're gonna have a puzzle with the phones in a moment.
That's a good puzzle. There's like a lot of extra naughty bonus numbers you can call.
There are like 3 extra naughty bonus numbers I can call, and we'll be showing them off in this video.
Yay!
Special request from Nikola. So what's the other special request you had? You want me to show like the optional Dragon Ball Z dialogue in the game room or something?
Yes, and then we already did the smelly suit one, which is my favorite in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Dragon Ball Z one was the third one I specifically requested.
All right. So this is sort of a long explanation. Sigma takes a while to realize that you can actually roll out aluminum foil.
Apparently he's never had leftovers.
Does make you wonder what our heroes are eating because there's no food anywhere, but he cuts out 4 pieces of aluminum foil here. Each one has a different shape.
You know, if he wanted to scratch the silver off the poster, he could probably use the back end of the box cutter.
Well,
Yeah.
he wants to use a coin. He's a traditionalist.
And I mean, aluminum foil, you don't really need a box cutter for that. Like that's just
Yes.
tear it.
Rip it with your teeth.
yeah.
Usually, no, he doesn't have the aluminum foil box, though, so he can't cut it off.
So what is that? Is that just a drawer?
It's
With a
just
glass top or
drawer
something?
with a glass top which reflects. And I apparently am very bad at this puzzle, and I keep choosing the wrong piece of aluminum foil.
It doesn't look like there's anything to... Maybe I'm just not seeing it on the video, but is there actual writing or something on the tray?
There is actual writing or something on the wall of
Oh.
the tray.
Ew. Lurker?
It's kind of dark.
Lolcat?
Locker.
We were in the locker.
Yes, that's your clue that you can open up the locker.
Not sure we needed that clue, but okay.
Sometimes that happens in games like these. You get the clue for the puzzle you just solved.
That was a lot of the later, Tales of Monkey Island games. That I kept solving puzzles before I had all the
Accidentally.
components to it. I'm like, I know exactly what I need. Where do I find this thing? Oh, there it is. I can solve this now. $49.85, a very good year.
Yes. So that's the clue for opening the locker. You want to do 4985.
We're watching.
And like
So
my hand is
suspenseful.
totally blocking the screen, so you can't see my beautiful solution. But trust me, that was addition right there.
I'm impressed.
Alice is impressed as well. And we get a cassette player for the answering machine. Do answering machines still use cassette tapes?
I don't think so.
Do people
haven't
still
seen
have
one.
answering machines, or does everybody have a cell phone now?
That's what I'm assuming. I'm sure there's some old people out there somewhere that still have answering machines.
I remember having one friend in the 90s who would like go to secondhand stores and buy old answering machines just to listen to the cassette tapes and hear the
Oh,
random
that's-
messages that were left for people.
That's a little depressing.
He found it amusing.
You know, I have to wonder, I'm sure we've talked about this either in 999 or in this video series, but I have to wonder what the other characters are doing, because obviously the other parties that are out there are solving puzzles on their own without Sigma or Junpei's help. So, what are the other characters doing while Siggy's walking around, pressing buttons, turning on? Are they just sort of hovering over his shoulder saying, ooh, what's he going to do next? Are they just like bad pathfinding AI walking into the wall, like missing the door frame, trying to follow him?
I have no idea what Sigma and, I mean, what Alice and Phi are doing. Here you can call them, so they are kind of doing something technically.
Yeah. Everyone always gets really lazy when Sigma's around.
I think it would be an interesting change to maybe in the next game, because you know there's going to be a next game, to have it be that you sort of switch off with different characters, like, oh, so-and-so is really good at computer stuff, so that person sits down and you control them to solve the computer puzzle. Or so-and-so is really good at box-moving puzzles, so you switch off to them for the box-moving puzzle. So it's still you solving everything, but you're taking on the persona of different people, so it's not Siggy or Jumpy or anybody else whose name ends in E doing all of the work.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that actually works. I mean, they kind of did it a little bit in the first game, but not so much here.
Well, and actually, along those lines, there's another way you could spin this that would be interesting too. Instead of having one main character and all of the different endings where the different characters with him or her go off and win, be able to play as a different one of the characters the whole time, see the game from their perspective, and if you win, you know, get their ending, and what they do affects other people's endings and all of that. So that would be another neat way to spin it, I think.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. As soon as you unlock the Dio ending, you can play through the game as Dio.
Right. Something like that.
I mean, so there's a reason you can't do that in this game. It's because of one twist at the very, very end.
Oh, sure. I mean, there are holograms.
I actually like that concept, yeah.
That could actually even be a better ending, I suppose, than having, I don't know. Anyway, as you can see, I'm calling Phi and Alice to get the top secret password of the 2592.
Another good year.
I don't know, I don't like the presidential election of 2592. Bit too much.
Get your
Robot
math
Nixon
right.
was.
Bit too much mudslinging, I would say.
I don't know what you're talking about. Robot Nixon was a great president.
Oh, I'm probably laughing prematurely.
Yes, you are, but that's funny.
I'm going to laugh at regular 3-second intervals until I'm caught up with where I thought was funny.
So that was Nikola's request. And it actually turns out that you can only get that joke at this particular moment in the game, believe it or not. I forget what cancels it out. It's calling the other phone and getting the message from the machine. I think cancels out that line of dialogue. So with all the other extra numbers, you can call them later on and get the special dialogue. But that is a one-time only. You've only got like a 5-minute frame to get that particular sequence. So you might have noticed I had to do clever video editing there just to put in that one joke, because I tried to get it later and it was blocked.
No.
That's why I'm talking about.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Michael.
That's all.
Okay,
Now
so let me
Zero
see
the
if I
Third
can...
is explaining how phones work.
Oh, okay. I guess it's not worth trying to resync myself up with you guys. If Zero's explaining things, then I'm close enough. You just have to look at me funny every time I go, ah, and you're like, what are you Oh, yeah, that's what's funny. Wait, is this Zero or Zero the Third talking? I don't have the sound on loud enough to hear much of anything.
Oh, there aren't any voices, so I think it's the rabbit.
Yeah, it's Bunny Zero. You can tell because he's making rabbit puns.
Yeah, because I was going to say, it kind of sounded, but it only said Zero, not Zero the Third.
Yeah.
Because now that we've met another Zero, we must needs
Yes.
differentiate.
But this isn't the part of the game where we've decided to switch. We haven't yet decided to switch between Zero and Zero the Third and Zero Senior and Zero Junior.
Is there a Zero Deluxe?
I don't know. It's strange. You know, I just had Zero and Zero the Third memorized, and then they switched to Zero Senior and Zero Junior. So now I'm calling the fancy number which appeared on the screen, and does that do anything? Yes, it does. Alright, so I think this is the pin for the locker in this room, which we can open using the shapes, but the shapes are on the poster of Clover. So I guess our next stop is the poster of Clover. You have to back away like 5 times in a row in that sequence.
So did you do the extra bonus numbers on that phone?
Yeah, I do them later.
Okay.
Some of them are mentioned in the archive files, and I do them after seeing the archive files.
Gotcha. Okay.
But this is me getting out I got out the correct piece of aluminum foil ahead of time because I've been having problems with aluminum foil. So if Fi is in this room, I guess that means she's just been here for the past 5 minutes checking out the poster. Because there's not much else for her to do.
Yeah.
She could stare at she could be composing a novel.
Yeah.
All that aluminum foil, you got something to write on.
My experiences with not telling anybody anything ever.
Oh, am I laughing at a future something? Again.
Oh. I didn't mean to shut
Apparently
the
you
door.
didn't want whatever that was. There we go.
No, it's a wallet. It's very important.
And inside the wallet is a brand new car!
Wait, no!
Who makes toy coins?
Well, the toy coin is perfect for a certain puzzle.
Oh, and you actually get to scratch it off with the stylus?
Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think you actually need to scratch off that part, though, right? Or do you?
Yes, I think I'll demonstrate about half of the scratching off. You only need to scratch off the wristbands and the ankle bands. Although one of them's on the thigh, so it's not an ankle band. I don't know what you call it.
A garter? Is that a thing? A garter? I feel like maybe a garter.
Yeah, I've heard of those. They throw them at weddings. Oh, it's not Clover.
Okay, so it is actually... Well, it does look more like Clover up close than it did far away.
It's got the same sort of tattoo under the eye, right?
Yeah. Clover had a Clover tattoo, and this person has a sun tattoo.
Oh, okay, totally different. Sorry.
I like how your clunky hand is censoring everything you're doing right now.
So you can't tell what I'm doing, yes. Well, it's hard because you have to draw at a specific angle, I think. If you've been watching this video walkthrough, you'll notice I have trouble with stylus control sometimes. And you might have noticed that I actually had to physically move my DS closer to me to make it easier for me to write. Man, I'm still not done with this. Okay. Oh, I'm done. Okay, great. That took forever.
Sigma got really into that.
And he's still scratching.
I think Sigma's got a problem.
Yeah. So, question, do you think that's on purpose because we went through the Cyan door? She's wearing a Cyan swimsuit?
Oh, I didn't even make that connection. Maybe?
Everything's all connected here. Still, I have to wonder how, if Zero actually got somebody to get tattoos specifically for this puzzle, it's photoshopped, or I don't know.
Well, you notice also the picture was an art, it was like a drawing or a painting. It wasn't the 3D look like a photograph would be. So unless what we're seeing is different from their conception of reality, that was just a drawing
Okay.
that he was scratching off on the wall.
I think it was supposed to be a photorealistic photo.
Although I guess if you think about the photo of Akane in the previous video that Tenmyoji had, that was also drawn art style. So
Yeah,
reality is upside down.
they mentioned something about this in one of the interviews with the game, saying in game number 3 they're just gonna go full out and get rid of all the 2D art. Everything's gonna be 3D.
Which is a shame. The 3D in this game is better than I expected it to be based on some of the initial stuff that I was reading on GameCole about this game. But so the 3D is fun and it works well, but I tend to prefer the 2D art style.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree with you. That's the one thing I liked better about 999 was the art style. This is a little bit more, I don't know, generic almost.
And as we saw in the opening cutscene, some of the things we see in cutscenes are basically, it's a 3D picture, but it's a 2D frame of a 3D picture. Their characters don't actually move. I think we'll get a couple of them in this ending, because this is the Alice ending.
Oh, that's right, Alice is with us.
Yeah, she's gonna become important. This is... I don't know how to describe it. It's going to be a strange ending all the way around.
Well, we'll find it when we get there.
And this is me explaining how to solve the puzzle. What you have to do is match the colors or the symbols with the numbers and such. Basically, you have to solve the puzzle of this door twice.
Is there something different in the locker every time?
One time you get the password, and the other time you get the Golden Files password.
So it's sort of like a extra dimensional holding space.
Mm-hmm.
Something different in it every time you open it.
That would be, I wouldn't say complaint, but that's something which is kind of strange about this game. You can always tell which puzzle holds the secret file password, because that's the puzzle you can solve twice. If you can't solve the puzzle twice, Sigma will just say, "Eh, I already solved that puzzle, can't do anything." But if you can go back and solve the puzzle after he's opened the safe, you know, oh, guess what? This place has the secret file. And I don't think we're actually going to talk about the book about Schrodinger's cat in this playthrough.
Huh.
I think it's important in the Phi playthrough, but not this one.
Is this the room where we learn about Sigma's problems with cats?
Yep. And I think we also learn about EU in this room, because Tenmyoji is going to talk about EU and his grandpa videos.
The European Union?
You'll see in a moment. It's one of the golden files. It's a technical term that Tenmyoji uses, and he has taught to Quark because he is a good role model for children.
Golden Files? Is that like the Golden Girls look for extraterrestrial life?
I'd watch that show.
That'd be fantastic, actually.
Yeah. Let's kickstart that.
I'd like to see a Kickstarter project. Kickstart my advertising budget for my Kickstarter project that I'm going to make.
You donate $50, you can donate in the Kickstarter that I'm going to kickstart. You know, now that we're going through these conversations for like the third time, I find them to be kind of a bit long.
Well, isn't that the way dialogue always tends to be after you've seen it a bunch of times in
Yeah.
a video game?
But Sigma's got his cat problem here, so that helps out a bit.
Wait, didn't Clover also have a tick in the, I guess it was 2 videos back, when Sigma and Clover and Dio were all in the lab with like the bugs and the jars and the things, and she, was it the frog that she kept making puns about?
Sir Hoppington, Sir Lord Hoppington, I think.
Yeah, that she kind of lost control. So I wonder if each of these characters has an animal that they just can't help but make puns about.
Well, Clover also had a tick where she kept talking about underwear in the pantry, so...
Oh, yeah. Okay, we get a little bit into Schrodinger's cat here.
Yeah, but I remember... what was your tweet about this particular scene where Sigma is going to cut Phi off because this is long and boring? And you said he's the anti-Junpei. He actually stops somebody when they're about to go into lecture mode.
I mean, she gets back into it, like you said. I think it's her ending, right?
Yeah.
So this is exciting. I think I might be back up to speed with where you guys are again.
Whoa.
Hooray!
Somebody read some dialogue for me out loud.
Nikola, you do it. I did voices for all the characters in 999.
Okay. Oh, they're opening a door right now, so there's
Yes!
nothing.
This is the best part, where I am
Sigma, what are you
realigned
doing?
with the
Let's
rest
get
of
out of
the
here.
people recording. Oh, no, I'm behind. Now my laughter is in the past.
And yeah, that's why I couldn't go back and get the super hilarious stuff. I don't know, the other rooms don't automatically kick you out as soon as you get the key. Why does this one do that?
I don't know, that's weird. I didn't even realize it did that.
Well, clearly I didn't either. Otherwise, I wouldn't have like
Yeah,
accidentally
right.
kicked myself out.
No, I don't remember that happening in my playthrough. I must have gotten the secret one first somehow.
Okay, you guys, read some more dialogue for me.
There's no dialogue
Huh?
yet. Oh,
What?
That one's, the shapes are different, but there's, anyway, he's just clicking too fast for me to read all this. I better make sure to
remember them. You have found the safe
Remember.
password. You can visit it by visiting the safe passwords in the archive.
Ooh, someone left a book about cats sitting me out.
Great, now I'm thinking that Nikola and I aren't synced up with each other. Nobody's synced up with anybody.
I'm actually watching video 4 right now. What are you guys doing?
Oh, okay.
I should have just left it. I was all of 2 or 3 seconds behind, but then I kept wanting to react to all of the dialogue, to all of the right meow and all of those things, and well, now I can't because I think I've moved myself back and forth. I'm at 358 on my video timer now, and that's just
I'm
the end
at
of everything.
360.05.
Yeah. Okay, you and I are synced up, Michael.
Okay.
Wait. I'm lonely. Oh well, I'll just have a look inside. Am I close? Am I close?
Yeah.
Okay. You can lie to me and tell me I'm close.
I was lying completely. You jumped up a back.
I knew not to trust you.
So
Here's
I'll
EU
tell you when
and
he
Grandpa
hits
videos.
EU.
Oh, I love this one just because it insults Gilbert Gottfried for no reason.
And it brings up Danny Trejo for no
I-
reason either.
Is he really a 16? I don't know about that. Like, I feel like the scale needs to be recalibrated.
Well, keep in mind this is Tenmyoji's scale, so would he...
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm looking up pictures of this person online. I think I agree with your assessment there, Nikola.
I mean, right? That's like maybe a 4.
Man, that guy is scary looking.
I was worried for a second because we just got up to Grandpa videos and you said you were going to look up videos online. I was like, I don't think you want to do that.
No, but here's the story of the cat problem, which I think is ridiculous. I like it. It's like a fairy
I like
tale
how there's-
gone wrong.
Yeah, there's like a really weird backstory in here for no reason. I do kind of love it.
Yeah, I was noticing that as you were looking through the, I guess the secret files they're called, just how bizarre this game universe is once you really start reading about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me making the phone calls that we saw from the secret files.
Yes. I mean, sometimes the secret files, I feel like they end up spoiling a little bit in the future, right? They don't put them in the right room. So I stopped reading them, and I read them all at the end.
But usually, I mean, for the first 3 rooms, it's okay. But the next bit of rooms, it's not. It usually is a spoiler, because, whatever you call it, the room right before the Alice ending, it will spoil stuff at the end of the Alice ending.
Mm-hmm. I love these extra phone numbers.
And I think there are like 2 that we found which weren't mentioned, but I imagine there must be others. I don't know what this one is.
The 3-1.
Yeah, no. I got the random series of numbers I don't get when you do 8008.
I think it's like Leet Speak in reverse. I didn't get a chance to look at it really quick, but it looked like there's a 51 in there, which is.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have a chance to read it again, though.
Well, I don't know Leet Speak, so I'm good. And this is pi, 3.14159625535. So after taking forever, we finally reached the end of the crew quarters. Hooray!
Right.
Hooray! After...
This was actually the first room I got, and I was super impressed because this was way better than anything that was in 999.
You just like that poster.
I actually never got out of this room. It was just, I was at the poster the entire game.
I can't get the blue parts off. Oh no.
I think my game is glitched.
My DS is broken. Okay, now we're back to just one screen. Oh, thank goodness. Now I don't have to read
Right.
tiny text anymore. So part of the reason this video is so long, I explained this to Nikola and Nathaniel earlier on. I didn't really fast forward through stuff in this video, so sorry.
Could you, like,
I
I
could
would
have
assume the
fast
dialogue is
forward.
slightly changed, or no?
I would have fast forward through 90% of this video. I mean, this scene. There are
Okay.
like 3 dialogue changes.
I see, okay.
Sigma, let me see that map you found
So
earlier.
like Quark will mention which room he went through, and that's the change. He says a different room depending on what room you went through.
Gotcha, okay.
There's that Pac-Man again.
I'm just waiting for little ghosts to start following the dot down.
I'm still wondering what is in those extra rooms that we never appear to go through.
Yeah.
Cabbage. Mostly
Yeah.
cabbage.
Yeah, it's all the cabbage for the rabbits. That's where they keep it.
Something like that too. Our room was an infirmary.
Maybe that's where they have the bathroom and, you know, snacks for everybody.
They just have piles of Quark's hat
Mhm.
filled with
Plenty of
snacks.
time for that after we check out this elevator.
Well, how else is he going to refill on snacks?
I mean, he could refill the hat, but I guess he just
Yeah,
throws the
just
hat
trade
away.
out the whole hat. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, hey, I am fast forwarding here. Well, I guess I was lying earlier on.
Whoa, dude, you gotta warn me. I gotta fasten my seatbelt here.
Gotta head back. Clover, how about you show him that note we found?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Huh?
So maybe this is what I meant earlier on when I was complaining about how we see this thing 3 times and it gets kind of repetitive then.
Mhm.
We don't actually see the supplementary rules 3 times, we see them 6 times. Because in every single route, you see it inside the safe, and then you see it outside the safe.
Yeah. And I think it's the same thing with Sigma's flashback, right? You see that I don't know how many times in this game.
Yes, you see it every single pathway.
Yeah.
Always after
I mean-
the first round of A-B voting, you see it.
Yeah. You can fast forward through it, so it's not as annoying as some of the stuff in the first game, I don't think.
And this is where we learn about Grandpa videos, so hooray.
Hooray!
So,
This is where we learn that T-Dog's a dirty old man.
I wonder if Clover's gonna notice that she's in the picture.
She's trying to cover it up.
We can check out any
I
of
was trying to get money for college.
Hey, look, Grandpa.
Quark just
They got
totally
ones
ratting
over
him out
there.
again.
It looks like the ones you got back home.
This one's pretty hot.
See, so he gives that girl a 14 or 15, but Danny Trejo's a 16?
Agreed.
I sure would like to take it home with me. Unfortunately, I don't think this is really the time for that. Let's keep moving.
I like how Sigma was like, "Whoa, Grandpa! Since when were they friends?" Like how's that the connection he makes?
No, that's the important thing he takes from that conversation. Temioji. I guess this sort of relates to the Temioji ending, but I'm not entirely sure how. We haven't figured it out yet, so I'm not going to. I'm confusing myself. I'll just stop talking.
Let's go, buddy.
Ugh.
I can't wait to get out of here and back to my.
I love Tenmyoji's big doofy grin.
Oh,
I am all
what's
teeth.
in the lab cabinet?
And now he's afraid that the other guys are gonna go find his grandpa videos that he's got stashed somewhere.
But he's got the grandpa video stash. Well, that's why he can't bring the poster back with him.
I don't know. We're gonna go back to that room later on, and the poster's just gonna be missing.
Wait, now I'm thinking of what I'm thinking of. Does Temioji actually have a house? Because that was sort of indicated that he kind of
Oh,
didn't. He's kind
that's
of
an
a
excellent
vagrant.
question. Yeah, it seemed like I sort of got the impression that he just sort of wandered from place to place, right? living wherever he could.
I guess maybe there's a house that he just decided to break into and make his own.
No,
Well,
he
he's got
constructed
a
a
house
house of his own
specifically.
from everything he was salvaging.
Oh, okay.
He's got a house specifically for all of his grandpa videos.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes
Like a
sense now.
storage facility.
So that's why the government decided not to bother to save him. They decided he wasn't worth saving.
Not this again.
Well, no, it's a legitimate discussion that our heroes are going to have at some point. If this facility is to save people from having save people so they don't get Radical 6,
Just hurry
or
up
if
and get in
they
there.
just decided to torture everybody who does have Radical 6.
Oh, side note, the door opening noise, that doo-doo-doo-doo, sounds almost exactly like the "You got points" jingle in the Space Quest games, and that makes me very happy.
Huh, okay. I didn't know that. I've never played the Space Quest games.
Very worthwhile.
I do like how they reused the sound effect from 999 for the trying to open the door sound effect. Even though that doesn't work because all of these doors are sliding doors in this game rather than doors with handles, but they still use the "he just tried the handle" sound effect.
Well, there's like a locking mechanism in the wall that you don't see that makes that sound.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and you were saying in, I believe, the last video about the number 9 door that has the little
This looks just like
flop,
the room you woke up
there's
in.
words that are not coming to my head. The things on the outside that open outward, why are they opening outward?
Diana
That's totally
asked about
pointless.
those.
Yeah, that's what that was. What if they're magnetized? What if they're like locked on either side, magnetized to something inside the door to keep that in place?
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
I just think they did it to stretch out the cutscene a little bit longer.
Yeah, there's that. They're there for dramatic effect only.
Well, no, in most of the cutscenes, it's that the door stays open for much longer than 9 seconds, as anybody can see when
Well,
they play this game.
Did you even read
I guess you
what
could
it said?
consider it to
Once you press that
close
button,
incredibly
it's only
slowly.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, thanks to your stupid ass, we're stuck in here for all
So
this
I'm just
time.
saying, maybe it opens and closes slowly, and that's the point of having those things.
Hey, I feel like we're missing something important here, aren't we? Something that was in the other playthroughs? Or am I
Yeah,
crazy?
wasn't there something inside this room which was in the other playthroughs but wasn't here? Yeah, I think you're right.
Kind of a big deal? Like a dead body? Isn't that?
Did Sigma mention that, or
I don't think so.
he's
They're just
supposed
really
to have
calm about
two
it this
lines of
time.
dialogue where he's hesitant to go inside the room because he thinks something will be there, and then there's not, and he's all, oh, okay.
Hmm.
Maybe I
Are
just
they in a
wasn't paying
different room?
attention when that happened.
And it goes the other way, too. Alas's opponent will be Siggy and Fido. Obviously, that means Potassium and Clevo's enemy will be Tenmiel.
Strange, though. I wonder where the corpse is at.
Enemy will be
Well, she isn't dead in this timeline.
I guess
Okay.
enemy.
She only dies if you go through the crew quarters. No, wait, other way around.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
So here's a thought about the AB game.
I think that about does it for the basic rules.
The only reason it's really a problem
There's a little bit more.
is psychological, because you've named the options ally and betray. If you name the options, for example, blue and orange, nobody would ever pick anything other than blue, because it's like, oh, we all gain 1 point. Let's just keep pressing blue over and over till we all gain 1 point and get out of here. By calling it ally and betray, there's that additional nuance of, well, I'm going to betray you because I don't trust you. Well, no, it's I'm going to pick orange because I don't trust you. It's sort of silly. It's a name.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Oh.
Oh.
I feel like the threat of death here. Well, I guess they don't know that at this point, right?
Yeah, they don't know
That
that
if they get
will
to
kill them if they
negative
lose.
points, yeah, they just know they get a penalty. But I feel like once the threat of death is introduced, I think you can call it whatever you want, and people would still be hesitant to do anything that might bring them closer to that.
I suppose so, but at least in the beginning, all of the choices that they seem to be making about ally versus betray were strictly built on their own opinion of, should we in real life outside of the AB game ally ourselves with this person, or would it be in our best interest to betray them? It wasn't really so much a game of numbers until later on, after they started saying, oh, my BP's 1, I guess we should do something about that.
Yeah, fair point.
You following me?
And this is the prisoner's dilemma. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is the only pathway where it's sort of, the other two we don't get to see this cute little cutscene, right?
Yeah, it's cute. We get unique voices for the detectives.
You're gonna have to put you both in the slammer for 2 years if you do. Now, if you flip on your pal over there, tell me everything. I can get your sentence reduced to 1 year. That means your buddy will serve 15.
Wonder who does the detective's voice.
Of course, if he decides to spill the beans,
It's Chelmy.
the other way.
Oh, okay.
It's 1 year.
Well, it's just the same guy who does whatever you call it, Layton's voice does Chelmy. So
Well, I can
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
they didn't bother to hire any other male actors for the first game, so he's Chelmy by default and the villain by default.
Keep that trap shut.
Oh, is he Don Paulo too?
Yeah, he's Paolo and Chelmy.
Oh my god.
I wonder
How did I not know that? That's crazy.
no rush. Give you plenty
And
of
of course, now in the Layton games, they hire a different person to do every single voice. So
Yeah. What would you do? Say you were in apple or banana shoes.
I mean, here it's not ally and betray, right? It's stay silent and confess, but it's the same sort of idea.
I'm not entirely sure if this fits the what do you call it, the prisoner's dilemma as it was presented to me. As the way it was presented to me, the worst outcome was both people confess, and then you get like 20 years for that. Which is slightly different from this. It generally has the same effect, though.
So I think when I learned it in Psych 101 or whenever that was, I think it was very similar to what they're showing here, where it was if two betrays, or whatever you want to call it, that's not as bad as if
But you're forgetting
you get
something
betrayed and don't betray.
That banana will be
Like that would be
same
the worst
thing.
penalty.
So you'll
Yeah,
both
yeah.
confess, and you'll both end up serving 10 years. Do you get it?
So obviously the best situation is where everybody stays silent and they trust each other.
More than 2 years, but because you both made the decision based on your own self-interest, you're going to spend 8 more years in prison. In other words, the logical decision leads not only to a less desirable outcome on the group level, but also a pretty shitty situation on the personal level too. You see now, the AB game is the prison.
So you said they're locked in here for 40 minutes now that they get to talk about this?
They are locked in here for 40 minutes.
Is this going to be 40 minutes in real time? Like, I'll look ahead to whatever the time marker is on the video 40 minutes later and say, oh, the door is opening. How nice.
Maybe, maybe not. Actually, I think maybe not. You're actually lucky in this time.
Yeah, I think they stop talking and just sit for like 20 minutes at some point, right?
Yeah, there will be silence. Sigma will upset Phi, and then, he'll make a pass at her, and then they'll decide to sit in awkward silence.
But 9 of us are fighting 0 in the AB game.
I'm not joking, too. That's
What would we want to do?
But I mean, I totally believe that. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Totals?
so.
Is he going to take out the coin and try and scratch it on her?
Yeah,
Why isn't this working?
he's gonna try to rate her in terms of EU, and
Okay. Now let's
Baby,
see
you
what
look better than
others
Danny
betray.
Trejo.
Because so far, all of the characters we've seen who've been remotely flirty don't seem to be very good at being flirty.
What are you talking about? Clover, she was an expert in her ending.
Well, maybe Sigma's just not that perceptive.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I guess that is sort of true, and not just in that path, but whenever someone seems to be making a pass at Sigma, he suddenly doesn't know how to react.
yeah, we'll see that here in the Alice ending.
So what does that tell
When she
you?
gets a little bit close and cuddly to him, he doesn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Have you played this game before, Nathaniel?
Each individual acts
No, I haven't played this one. I haven't played 999. I've just watched all of the videos.
Gotcha.
I don't have the patience for visual novels. I like more gameplay in my games. I don't mind some story here and there. I don't mind a game that's based around a story. But with this amount of talking, I would rather just read a book or watch a movie at this point.
Well, I think that this sort of format does some interesting things that you can't really just do in a book.
No, and that's true.
Well, here's
But,
a question.
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
I'm saying that they're making an iOS version of 999 where they remove all the gameplay and just make it a straight visual novel. What do you think about that?
I see. I hated the puzzles in 999. I might actually like that better if I'm being honest. I mean, at that point, it's not really a game anymore, right? It's just a visual novel. But
yeah, although it'd be like a choose your own adventure book. You would need to make decisions about who do we team up with, where do we go, what do we do? Do I dodge the axe that's being thrust at me, or just sit there and
the
take
answer's
it?
no. The answer's no.
No, literally, I think you'll have only the 3 choices of, the 3 times where you get to choose which room to go through. And it will actually use the improved flowchart, the flowchart we see in this game. So that's another bonus.
Yeah, that actually sounds a lot better than 999 to me then.
I'm not sure. We've seen a couple of pictures of the iOS version so far because they haven't finished it, and it looks like they're using different, maybe not different, but new character models / pictures of the various characters.
Oh no, that I don't like. I'm not down for that.
Because they had to basically recreate what happens in the puzzle rooms without the puzzles.
I see.
So, they'll show you the half hour of dialogue that you can go through in the kitchen, or so on.
So really, it would be additional art, not different art, right? Just to fill in for the puzzles that aren't happening?
I'm saying different art because it's a new picture of the old characters. I don't know.
So, they keep all the rest of the stuff the same, though. It's just that at this point it looks somewhat different because they had to add new stuff in.
It looks sort of different. It's going to be more like, maybe more like Professor Layton, where you have the person's head appearing above where their name shows up. So here we see Sigma's name on the on the right-hand side. What it would do would just show Sigma's picture as opposed to just showing his name.
I see.
And that's what they did in 999 too, is they showed the person's name, not just a little picture of them above their name to indicate that they're talking. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look this up because now I have no idea. No, I'm right. I'm 100% right. Okay. Yeah, it's completely new, different artwork.
What about you?
Right, because it's the iOS. Okay, because the iPhone screen is taller than it is wide, which is different from the DS.
So instead of doing, blowing up the picture and having black bars around the side, they just throw out the whole thing and redo it.
Yeah, so they've got pictures on the top and on the bottom, and that's where the conversation is going to appear.
Gotcha.
One person talks on top, the other person talks on bottom.
So is this dialogue important or something? I mean, I'm kind of getting that vibe.
Well, so the prisoner dilemma stuff before wasn't really that important since we've already sort of figured out how that's going. But now Sigma wants to know, he's trying to figure out how does he know her, or how does she know him.
And suddenly he gets a flash of a scene from the future.
Objection!
Wait a minute, that was a total spoiler. What? 2 bad spoilers in a row.
2 bad spoilers in a row. Walk into a bar. Say, I'd like to take my car out for a spin, but I need to pay for gas. And the other one says, sorry, I don't have enough bread. That kind of almost works.
Before it ends, I wanted to tell you thanks. You know we're about to die, but you still stuck with me. So
I haven't actually seen this ending before, but this is an ending where Phi is nice to Sigma. Huh.
Goodbye.
You didn't see that one?
She hugs him. That's nice.
Oh, so that's what Sigma looks like. He's wearing a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised, honestly.
Well, I thought he was just going around topless the entire game.
Yeah, that's why everyone didn't want to look at him.
Wrong? So what?
Well, clearly he works out. I mean, if you see, like, the artwork of him, he's completely buff, which is strange because he's easily overpowered in pretty much all the endings where somebody tries to overpower him.
Yeah. I mean, he's really the only one, right? Everyone else gets out really easily.
Yeah. And we will actually see that here in the Alice ending, unless I'm mistaken.
What are you talking about?
No, wait, I'm mistaken. Never mind.
What is it now? It hurts. You know, you said it hurt when you first woke up in the baby.
That's the
so
Sigma
Sigma's-
ending. It's the Sigma ending where Sigma gets to escape.
Seems reasonable to me.
Are you alright? Maybe you should
Aw,
rest a
Sigma.
little.
You were right, Michael. Look at him.
Yep.
He's getting these weird visions. He doesn't know what's happening to him, and his instinct is just to hit on a girl.
Of course. I shouldn't have worried.
Maybe that's the reason she never talks to him. This is going to be the only playthrough where people point out the fact that Phi doesn't really talk to anybody, and that's because you can go to the Phi ending after this, but we're going for the Alice ending instead. The Phi ending is the last ending of the game. Doo-doo-doo.
Ooh.
So it's better than the Sigma ending?
You have
Or
to
just
unlock all
after?
the other endings to get the Phi ending. Yeah, the Phi ending is
I
better.
see.
Yeah, that's sort of like the truest ending until you get the extra bonus stuff.
Extra bonus stuff?
There's an extra hidden bonus ending you get if you get all of the secret files.
Which I assume we're doing.
Mm-hmm. And it's technically inaccurate to say that you have to unlock every ending to get the Phi ending, because speedrunners have found out that you can skip like 4 of the endings.
Speed running? A visual novel?
Well, there are gameplay segments
Yeah, but
and a
not,
fast forward feature.
not much of a gameplay segment. How fast can you punch numbers onto a keypad?
Isn't that most speedruns?
No, speedruns are, I think of platformers especially, of here's some shortcuts, or here's a weapon that takes down this boss really quickly, or here's something that you're normally supposed to wait for, but I'm just going to jump past it and, you know, take the hit and keep running instead of waiting for it to get out of the way so I don't take damage, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or RPGs even, where you skip over all of the dialogue that's not absolutely essential and find clever ways to level up and get all the best equipment right away, that sort of thing. But this kind of game, I don't know. Well, and even other adventure games where it's like the point and click style adventure games where you find the most efficient path from one thing that you need to interact with to another, and the best way to move around collecting all the items that you need, opening all the doors and whatnot. But this, I don't know, because it's all isolated into a room and it's mostly just spin around, open this, spin around, click a couple buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it would be as dramatic a speed run at any rate.
I did do a speedrun of Professor Layton, which was interesting because you have to plot which puzzles you want to solve and in which order you want to solve them. But when I was specifically mentioning some speedruns where you just press the same button over and over and over again, I'm actually thinking of the Mega Man speedruns, believe it or not. Because I think the world record holder for Mega Man speedruns, I've seen him like do one of his runs, and basically the reason he's the speedrun champion is because he can just press the B button at insane speeds.
Yeah.
Which is
So Nathaniel,
important, right, Nathaniel? In Mega Man, you can only shoot like 3 bullets at once.
Yeah, you can only have 3 on the screen at a time,
Mhm.
in most cases.
So he's just a master at being able to get off way more shots than anybody else would be able to normally, just because he has such a quick reaction time.
True, but that doesn't really matter as much in the boss fights because you'll damage the boss once, they have an invincibility frame, so it's just your timing of hitting them at the exact moment that their invincibility frame ends. And aside from mini-bosses, you don't really need button mashing skills to rapid fire through most of the enemies. So it would certainly be an asset, but I don't know that it would really be the difference between a truly great speed run and one that's pretty decent.
I know somehow. There's just this feeling I've got. Like, that's
All right, Nathaniel, what do you think here? Ally or betray? Blue or orange?
Purple?
No, blue plus orange equals magenta. We went over this.
Oh, is it? I thought we got gray that way.
Oh, I guess you're right. Shades of gray,
So,
then.
I totally zoned out. Who are we up against?
We're up against Alice, and Phi just told us that if our BP hits 0, we die.
Oh, and that was the whole prisoner's dilemma thing.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going
that
to
was
go with
probably-
orange here, because when they showed the flash of Sigma's shoulder, I think it said orange on his sleeve.
Seriously, Sigma, are you okay?
That's clever. I like that. Did something happen to the microphone quality of one of us? Because the two of you sound fuzzier all of a sudden.
I don't... I'm using my iPad here, so I don't think I changed anything.
Yeah, I didn't change
Okay.
my one.
All right, then my headphones are playing tricks on me.
This is actually the first path I took, and I definitely allied my first time.
Can you skip the announcer bits?
No, because you technically haven't heard them before. Even though you totally have, and they're the exact same thing in every single playthrough.
That's a shame.
I don't quite understand the logic behind that, but yeah, no, you can't fast forward through this unless you've been through this particular ending before.
I mean, realistically, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad, but compared to everything else that you are able to skip and speed through, by comparison, it feels like an eternity for them to say 30 seconds until...
It's still way better than the skip feature in 999.
Hey, you listened to me, Michael. You picked ally.
I did.
I think this is the first time.
I got tired of, like, ignoring you.
Yeah, but I agree, like, with what Michael said. The first game was so bad at it that this game does it so much better. I wasn't, I'll deal with the extra 30 seconds here and there.
Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
I think it's also because I'm used to reading text instead of waiting for the voice actors to deliver the lines. Oftentimes, if there is voice acting in a game, I'll just skip ahead as soon as I'm done reading, unless I'm really digging their vocal performance.
That's usually what I do, yeah.
If I'm into the story, then and the voice actors are good, then I'll let them go with their full. Like, in this one, I don't think I skipped through anything.
It's just easier for me to play the game on auto mode, otherwise I'd have to be clicking after every single sentence, so...
Oh, is that how that's working? It's automatically
Yeah, it's
advancing?
just automatically advancing.
Okay. I was wondering, because every once in a while, it just seems to get hung up on something, and I couldn't tell if that was you trying to judge how long it would take people to read it, or what, so that's interesting that it's timed out the non-spoken lines, that it automatically advances those after a pause.
Yeah. The Sigma lines always take a lot longer because I don't know why.
He talks slowly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I actually went back to whoops, why am I playing with my die?
Alice.
Oh, Question. So that whole scattering of pictures that showed up, are they arranged? I think they're arranged a little differently every time, because I think some of the
Depending on
pictures
who's
were
there.
bigger than others.
It changes depending on who's there or not.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like, you know, people with more BP had a bigger picture or whatever.
Excuse me?
Actually, so where was I? I actually went back to see what that picture is on Sigma's sleeve, and it's danger, not orange.
Anyone who thinks otherwise is...
But I saw all
Danger
those
orange,
letters.
danger orange.
They have a lot of letters in common, and when you only see it for a half second, it's easy to mix the two up. I like how Sigma's pulling out the prisoner's dilemma right now, as if he didn't just learn about it.
Haven't you ever heard of the prisoner's dilemma?
Yes, I know about the prisoner's dilemma, but everyone picking ally isn't a reasonable outcome. Just look at the results for this round. What do they tell you?
Yeah, so after this, I hated Alice for the rest of the game because she was the first character to betray me.
Oh, I thought it was Tim Myoji who was the character you didn't like.
My apologies.
I don't like him now, but when I was playing the game, it was Alice that I was trying to find ways to get back at her.
Oh, you'll never be able to do that. She's a sneaky one. She's smarter than Sigma.
Yeah, she's tricky.
And this is one of these strange endings where Dio doesn't betray.
Yeah, this is the one time in the entire game, right?
Yeah, he doesn't betray, and it's because Quark made the decision.
But still, you think if Dio was really adamant about this, like he shoves him out of the way for all the other ones. Remember, he blames the fact that they betrayed Alice on him during that other pathway.
Yeah, I think what he's doing here, maybe he tried to do this in the other pathways too, is he wanted Quark to physically be the one who presses betray. So he could technically say Quark did it.
Mm.
I lied. That was a joke. Mr. Dio would never do something like that. It was a joke?
I don't think it was a joke. I think Mr. Dio would totally do that.
You really have it going there.
Maybe Luna's just too nice. Even Dio can't betray her.
So you really were
Luna, oh no, let's not go in that pathway.
Thank you very much. Don't worry.
Does Luna ever betray anybody?
Gosh, I can't remember that. There's got to be somewhere that she does, right? Where she's got one BP and kind of has to.
Guess I just haven't had enough time to earn your trust, huh?
I suppose you can say that. I just didn't really expect you to be so nice about it.
And poor T-Dog is upset because Clover betrayed him.
Poor dirty T-Dog.
He liked Clover. So here's another theory. What if K is really the Clover from the poster?
Clover is the Clover from the poster, I thought.
Oh, okay.
You know, we haven't, in my opinion, seen enough K in these videos. I think he, she, it is one of the more interesting characters who we just don't get to talk to all that often.
Yeah.
Apologize for
Yeah,
that.
That's true. He doesn't have as much. There aren't as many rooms with K.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's that excellent game room that has that excellent picture in it, but I can't think of too many other ones.
There is the K ending, which I delayed for some reason. I could have done that third. That could have been the pathway we're doing right now, but I delayed it to ending number 7.
I think I think that's a good place for it. Yeah, that's one of the bigger, whoa, what just happened endings. So
yeah.
It's nice to save it towards the end.
I still don't understand it, but no spoilers.
Yeah, we can talk about that when we get there.
K is a robot? What? It's a nice robot suit.
So am I. color wasn't the only thing that
So here's a question for you.
What do you mean?
Alice
Well, it looks like our group's
was originally in 999,
That was a solo
technically.
last
Showed
time.
up at the very end,
The code
right?
says
Yeah.
pair. Right.
And
Really? Mine
was
still says solo.
a hundreds of year old Egyptian mummy person, something like that, right?
Yes.
The opposite.
Well,
Mine went from
so-
pair to solo.
Well, go ahead.
Well, so we haven't gotten to that part in this game yet, but she kind of discusses that, right? Coming up
I
Oh, does
believe
she?
that
Is
is actually going to happen in the next video.
Okay,
in the next
'cause-
video. Okay.
Yeah.
Directly
'Cause-
in the
and
next
how-
video, T-Dog is going to bring up the Ice 9 and all ice. I mean, all ice.
And Miss Clover is a solo?
And
So,
supposedly, how long after the first game was this? Was this 1 year, or was this 9 years after the previous game? Supposedly, according to whatever.
According to
Quote-unquote
Clover,
official source.
I think Clover's actually going to explain it in this video, and I think it's 1 year.
I think
Okay.
you're right. Yeah, I think it's 1 year.
Because I was just trying to figure out how someone hundreds of years old from a totally different culture is now speaking perfect English and fitting in with all of the colloquialisms that everybody else is using and able to roll with those. Like, she does not in any way seem like a woman out of time.
Except for
Yeah.
the clothing. She hasn't worked with modern clothing yet.
But
So,
necklaces aren't
given
okay
not-
to wear shirts?
So given 9 years or more time, I can kind of understand that. But a year later, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll come back to this topic in the next video.
Yeah, we'll see. Clearly what happened is she time traveled back into the past.
Yeah.
She time traveled to take over Egypt herself.
I was so excited. I had the video synced up perfectly with you guys again, and then I was gesticulating and hit my hand on the spacebar, and that
Oh
paused the
man,
video.
we are not having good luck this video.
And for the record, I hate the word gesticulate, and I don't know why I just used it. Gesturing, motioning.
So this should be interesting. I forget what they talk about here.
Did you find anything suspicious?
Like a secret door or something?
Anything else out of the ordinary?
Yeah,
perhaps?
here's Kay, but he doesn't really explain. Whenever we see him so far, he basically just lectures us on something, right?
Yeah, he's gonna lecture us on Schrodinger's cat for a bit.
A meow.
Oh boy, the cat book again.
And then Quark is just gonna make fun of Sigma for the verbal tick.
That's basically my wife and I at home.
That's weird.
We just talk like cats to each other.
So what's the cat thing about?
I like the K picture in the corner.
I'm just imagining sparkly anime eyes under the mask.
A
Yeah.
rarely seen animation of K.
Yeah. What was that, like his milking animation? What was he doing there?
I don't know.
That has a random chance
That's the, putting your hands up to your face like, oh, that's so cute.
and death until
That's
someone
that face.
Oh.
box.
So
That's the
Kay is an
sparkly eyes
8-year-old
behind
anime
it.
girl.
Exactly.
Mystery solved.
So it probably
I am such a
isn't
sucker
gonna
for
give us
puns,
any
so
hints
all of these are just really tickling me. That's part of why I like Zero the Third as well. I know that there had been complaints in previous videos about the voice, but it's just so over the top. It's so ridiculous, especially juxtaposed against the seriousness of their situation. It just it was so amusing to me to watch and listen to all of that unfold.
And I think Michael and I both like Zero the Third. I think it was Paul and Diana that both.
Yeah.
Well, and I also
Both did not like him.
appreciate the versatility of the person doing the voice. because even though the volume every time I've listened to it has always been very faint, and I can't really hear, like I can't even hear the music. I can usually hear some of the voices, but it sounds like the person doing Zero the Third's voice really has a good range of different voices that they can do.
This is why you would want to listen to the version of the walkthrough without commentary, because there were comments on the video saying that the game audio was too loud and they couldn't hear our voices. So I specifically lower the game's audio in the version where we have commentary.
Yeah, the non-commentary ones, I've taken a peek at those, and the voices they're captured nicely. You can hear them quite well.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the voice actor, I mean, obviously Zero the Third is annoying, but it's supposed to be sort of like intentionally annoying, you know? And I think they do a very nice job.
I was going to say that the cat puns are nice, but I don't think I don't think there's enough of them. He only has like 3 of them, which are on repeat.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't milk that pun as much as he could, you know? He needs to get more jokes out of the kitty and put them on the game.
Yeah, see, he doesn't use either of those two, and they're right there.
Yeah, no. Doesn't use a kitty joke, doesn't use a milk joke. What else do cats do?
You know,
I don't know.
Well, you could have him start telling some of those puns to Clover, who also seems to like puns, and you know, he could be all romantic and whisk her away with his puns.
He could make puns about her name. I think that'd be great. They could have come up with good Clover puns, but I don't know.
Though,
maybe
of course,
they
if
didn't
you have
translate well.
If you have people who don't like puns, you know, you inundate them, and then they're just going to turn tail and run away.
I think you could just do something simple like say that she's his lucky Clover, which is sort of a pun, but I mean it.
Well, and they sort of covered that in the first game too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Although I think didn't they change the rules after in the first game Clover was just her nickname because they all came up with code names, but here it's just her actual name.
She liked it so much she legally changed it to Clover.
Makes sense.
Remember that time I got kidnapped aboard that ship and I almost died? Let's change my name to what I was calling myself then.
Well, her brother didn't change her, and her brother Snake, that was obviously a fake name. His real name is something else.
It's solid.
If it is true, then I worry about what might be happening to the world outside. Is there a pandemic raging on the other side of these walls?
So here we're kind of getting into the question of if we've been quarantined for our safety, or if we're being quarantined for the safety of everybody else.
If we want to know what's going on outside, the fastest way to find out.
Oh, I haven't been reading any of the dialogue.
Oh.
Oops.
Good. Mr. K and I will keep searching.
If you want to know what's going on outside, the fastest way is to read the dialogue.
Well, I mean,
They're
so
just talking
all
about
the
Radical
stuff in here.
6, yeah.
Yeah, we've basically kind of covered already in different pathways.
But we
they're
weren't
just
able
sort of
to
putting
fast
different
forward
spins on
through
it.
it, so...
Yeah.
And let me see, next I think I'm going to the lounge to hang out with the women.
Uh-oh. This is... I don't see this turning
Which
out
lounge
well.
is this, Michael?
No, this was Sigma's decision.
Oh, sure.
Just
Blame
all
it
the
on the
ladies
video
are
game character you're playing.
I had to decide what my character would do and not what I would do.
What do you want?
Oh, goody, the waitress subplot. I've been waiting for this.
Yes, Clover is a waitress. Hooray.
I think they're all maids, aren't they? And they're competing for the love of the master. Am I right on this?
Could be Master Sigma.
So as a side note, I don't think we've discussed this at any point. Has anybody seen the movie Cube?
I turned 21 just the other day.
I have not.
Is it the sequel
No?
to
Okay.
Sphere?
No, this one's a little rougher around the edges than Sphere. It's very similar to the Zero Escape games, actually. If you were a fan of Virtue's Last Reward or 999, I would recommend watching Cube. It's a sort of a sci-fi horror movie. It's a bunch of very different people who find themselves in this giant cube, which is just a series of square rooms all linked together, and they've got all sorts of like crazy puzzles and traps, and there's some really gory, gross ways that some of the people go out, and they're trying to just find a way to get out of the cube and figure out what the heck is going on to them. So it's very much like this game if you're looking for a more cinematic version of something like this.
Interesting. Is there a sort of animatronic rabbit that pops up every once in a while?
I don't recall there being an animatronic rabbit.
Well,
then again, I don't believe I saw Cube 0. I saw Cube, and I think it's Cube 2 Hypercube. So there is a series, so I might have missed the one with the animatronic rabbit.
Okay.
Well, obviously, Cube 0 has Zero the rabbit inside.
One would think so.
I'm also told that,
Totally not
speaking
reading
of
his
things
eyelids, yeah.
people might want to check out, Ever 17, which is also written by the guy who wrote this game. Which,
Yeah, I heard
I'm
that's
told
even
it's
crazier than this
similar,
game.
but one person told me they were able to completely see through all of the plot twists in Ever 17 just because he's played the Zero Escape series.
What's the name of it? Never 17?
Ever 17.
Ever 17.
Oh, and this is important. Their bodies feel weird.
It's because they're all drunk. They all came to the lounge.
Obviously. No, I think
I
it's
feel
weird that
funny.
nobody points this out in any of the other... Is Clover pulling her hair? She is. Huh.
I didn't even
Or at
realize that. I
least-
thought that was another like hands to the face thing.
No, she's clenching her hair at the very least. I don't know about pulling it, but she's grasping it, pretending like she has tusks or something.
No, but this is supposedly the case in every single pathway, that their bodies feel strange, but I think this is the only pathway where they explicitly try to mention it.
Maybe it's because of the anesthetic gas.
They're having weird effects from the anesthetic, right?
They all feel like they're floating, man.
It's like they're underwater. It's like time has no meaning.
It seems like you were unconscious for a long time.
Oh, is that
That's
is
what
that
that white
Sigma?
smoke was.
That was Sigma.
Was that? Oh, okay, right. So he's Junpei.
That's sort of like a weird crotch shot that we got from him, but yeah, that was Sigma.
Just hasn't worn off
Okay.
yet.
Well, when you watch the scene of him getting kidnapped, they show that from a couple of angles.
Right now we need to figure out how to get out of here. Yeah, haven't really taken a good look at everything yet.
No, seriously, what are you girls doing in here? There's nothing to see.
Yeah. What's there to find? It's a little room.
Maybe they're
We're
trying to find the
combining
golden
items
file.
at the bar.
Yeah. They just made themselves a red planet.
So I don't know if we're going to pay attention to this room or not. We seem to be having trouble with that, but here our characters are going to do the smart thing, which they probably should have done the first time around, is they're just going to go one by one and talk about every single person in the game and whether or not they're suspicious. And who could be
So is
Zero.
that sort of like the ending to Phoenix Wright, where some person's interviewing everybody about Phoenix and getting different opinions on everyone, sort of like that?
Yeah, it's sort of like this. The three, I guess 4 of them, because Sigma's here, they're just going to go through character by character and try to figure out who Zero is. Which is a plot line which sort of got dropped, kind of. Have our characters spent a lot of time trying to figure out who Zero is?
Try to get out of here like we all are.
I guess they've been focusing on trying to stay alive.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
it's hard to say because it really depends on what pathway you're taking through the game.
Yeah, that's also true.
Because I imagine if, depending on which way you're going, that might be a constant theme that they keep touching on, whereas some of the other ways, it's like, oh, we'll forget about this because Quark's sick and got to take care of that.
There's so many things I still want to do.
Yeah. Alice stabbed herself.
Well, let's see. I want to wear lots of gorgeous clothes.
It was self-defense.
Tons of delicious food.
Yeah.
She was protecting herself against herself.
What an idiot.
Excuse me?
And I was going to take your side, but after that load of horse shit, you're on your own.
Wait, so these are the people we're going to try to figure out who Zero is with?
Yeah.
These are the people I trust the least. What? No, not with these guys.
Well, who do you think is going to be smart enough to figure out who Zero is?
Probably Alice. Okay. I guess she's a good one to talk to about them.
And she's avenging her father's murder. By the way, that's the
Her
important
father
part
who
of her
lived
plot
hundreds
line.
of years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, King Tut.
She needs to figure out who killed him.
What? I don't know. Like, some of these characters use winky faces. At times, I'm not sure is appropriate.
As to why you're here, your guess is
Well, that's not the winky face. That's I went to brush some hair out of my face and then forgot what I was doing halfway through.
on their trail. I was
Oh,
told
and this is her. I'm smoking an invisible cigarette through my forehead pose.
but it's possible that I was getting close.
Oh, that's what she's
They
doing.
decided
Okay.
something had to be done with
Or that's the I have a headache because I poked my eye out. Or no, actually that's my I went to poke or to rest my fingers on my head, poke myself in the eye. That's why it's squinty, and then just kept going and left it rest
Why are
there.
you guys looking at me like that?
Oh, and or that could be her. I'm putting on my invisible top hat to be as cool as Dio. Look, I mean, look at them.
They could be.
Dio's not going to let go of his his top hat.
That's fine.
I mean, that is a hot top hat.
Guess I
Hot
look like
hat.
what I am, but
He got from Hot Topic, I suppose.
Hey,
Top hat, Hot Topic. Yeah, that makes sense. Do they sell them there?
what's she got to do with anything?
well,
They
I've
might,
never
actually.
seen them.
I might have reason to go to Hot Topic now.
related or work together or something.
It'd have an Adventure
She
Time
has
logo on
nothing
it.
to do with my work. She's just a friend that I
Last time I was a Hot Topic, it was nothing
That's
but
cool.
Adventure Time.
in the middle of a desert. Yes, but that's an awfully
I'm
long
a
story.
bit surprised at that, but whatever. Hot Topic.
Wait, hold on.
No,
While
off
I go
topic.
in
We're off
person-
topic.
Off
What's going on?
This
Off
isn't fair to
topic.
me. How about you guys give
Well
up
done.
a little personal information too?
Let's get some personal information.
We'll start with you, Tenmu.
Just a garbage collector.
Just a garbage collector.
Any ties to Zero?
None.
How do you know you have no ties to Zero?
You two know each other, right?
Do I have to answer that?
Well, if you really don't want to, it's not like I can force you.
Well,
So here's my question. Why is T-Dog keeping his relationship to Quark a secret?
I mean, it's not like you told us everything I
Because it's kind of obvious,
That is
because Quark's
interesting.
called him Grandpa a couple of
Dio,
times.
it's your turn. What's your
Yeah,
profession?
that's
No
really
one in
strange.
this
I
game
don't.
seems capable of trusting anyone else with even the smallest details.
I mean,
And I think that's part
the
of the
actual
problem
answer.
is that we're a bunch of random people that are trying to get out. Wouldn't it be nice to get to know each other a little bit so we know what kinds of skills and abilities that we have and what kind of a background we have, so we know where you would be best useful, so we can better determine how to pair up when we're going off places.
Quadruple flip. Missed. Well, I guess he wasn't really young. He was about 40.
Dio's making up a story about being a circus ringleader.
Always talking about how he
Yeah, we already know about you. We saw your ending already, Dio.
guess he just took it too far.
I see. You
I don't
lost your
know.
father
It
too.
seems plausible.
Yeah.
He certainly looks
I mean,
like the part.
he's got the hat and the overshirt jacket
Guess I got a little sappy there. Anyway,
thing.
point is, I don't have any damn idea.
Garment.
how I'm gonna
Garment is the word I was
got
looking
grabbed on the
for.
last night of one of
He
those
just got it from
tours.
Hot Topic. I
Got
thought
out
we
to
already
one
went
of
through
the bars,
that.
shit-faced.
Yeah, it's got an Adventure Time logo in the back that we can't see.
He grabs me and throws me inside. Before I can even get a look at him, they hit me with that gas, and I'm out like a light. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the AP room.
So we've got the Dio ending already, right? And we
Hmm.
got the T-Dog ending already, right?
Still haven't heard
And we're going for the Alice ending. I mean, we've got all of them in the room right here.
So we know all of their histories, yeah.
Yeah, we will by the end of this.
Are you some kind of doctor?
What sort of degree is he looking for, anyway?
The 3rd degree.
Okay.
I guess you've been working on that for quite a while.
Does he say specifically, like when he gets kidnapped, what he was working on?
No, he just says he was working on a paper. He's gonna major in color theory. He has a heart.
Yeah.
He's in the art department. This is all just to help. This is his final exam.
I would be totally useless. If this were a real situation that I were in, I would be totally useless because I would need everybody else to figure out all of the colors and all of the numbers for me, and then I could go and solve the puzzles once we get into the room, but I'd never be able to get into the room. Like, it's red? No, maybe it's a green door. Brown. Don't take the colorblind guy who's bad at number puzzles.
Well, to be fair, it seems like no one knows how to do that, right? It's always Phi that works it out for everyone because she's some sort of color genius.
It's
sort of
lucky
like
for
going
them
to a restaurant
that
with
she
a
never
bunch of
gets
people and
taken
trying to
out.
figure out the tip and talking over Michael. Just
Yeah.
difficult. I want to have Kay and Clover and Tenmyoji all side by side with their hand up to their face thinking animations, all and just, I don't know, I think that would be funny to see them all paired up with them.
Just see them all thinking at one time.
Yes.
I like Quark and Clover's scared animations. They're almost exactly the same thing.
Just forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Boy his age would be in elementary school.
You really don't know much, do you? About Quark, I mean.
And if it makes you feel better, sure. Well, I know a little about Luna. I got her talking when we were in the infirmary. She says she's got some sort of medical license or something.
She's a nurse?
It could mean she's a doctor. I don't know. She didn't say. Just going
Are we
by
all
how she
taking a
looks,
nap
though,
now? Did I miss the
I
cue?
guess nurse.
We're learning about all the characters.
I'm really interested in Luna. Yeah.
What does a girl like that do?
Yeah, we know
in
about
her
Luna.
backstory or in her?
She told you.
What kind of doctor is she? I'm trying to figure out.
No, all right? It's just kind of there. Like, I looked at you, and some part of my brain just said, that's Sigma.
You sure?
Yeah, do we not know anything about Phi at all? Do we know how old she is? Where'd she
I
get the
don't-
flower in her hair?
I think
Yeah, I
that's
don't
another
think so.
reason Phi is much lower on the list of characters that I like in this game, because I don't get much of any sense of personality from her other than she's kind of bossy or angry or one of those along those lines. It's been a while since I've seen anything where she actually does much of anything. But
Yeah.
we don't really know much about her.
I think there is one point where she's gonna, I wouldn't say break character, but when she gets more emotional and I almost don't recognize her voice acting at that point because she's, it's like, wait, she's using actual emotion rather than, I'm just cold and detached and saying something like a robot.
Yeah, she's got a couple of good scenes, but yeah, I prefer like either Luna or Clover as sort of traveling companions.
There you are!
Tenmyoji has grown on me
What's wrong?
since taking on this path. I didn't like him all that much at first. I didn't care much for Quark either, but spending some time with them, getting to know them a little bit better, some of their quirks, if you will, has been more amusing, entertaining.
Yeah.
Nobody
Two Dogs
likes
is not too bad.
Dio.
Well,
What's that?
Quark.
You go.
No, I was just gonna say Quark is sort of a character that's not here for like half the game and most of the pathways, so I'm not too attached to Quark.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm attached to anybody in here. It's just more, oh, this person's interesting. I'll watch what they're doing.
So we just
One
found
of the-
a bomb.
A bomb. At least that's what Mr.
Is it numbered
God.
1?
Number 3.
have
No,
a
it's number
password?
3.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have a password for this one.
phooey.
It's okay because we don't have a password decoder either.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Or it's called a password input device, I think is what they call it. I usually call it a keyboard, but...
Yeah. We don't have the necessary USB port, right?
Well, in the future they have double-sided USB ports, so...
Ooh.
Because, you know, right now, you're only right about half the time when you put in a USB port. In the future, they're double-sided, so you're right 100% of the time.
But I don't... How would that work? Let me check my USB port here.
Just put extra holes on the top, right?
We need to get everybody else in here now.
no, it's okay. Mr. K's already getting them. They should be here.
Actually, I want to
really
check
soon.
my USB ports now. I think the ones on the left-hand side of the computer are different from the ones on the right-hand side. I don't understand it.
See? Where is it? You said there was a bomb.
Man. Explode into the room, is that the best phrasing to use when you just found a bomb?
He's being clever.
There it is. You see?
And now we're going to have a long scene discussing the bomb. So, Nathaniel, who do you think planted the bomb?
Well, my money is on the dead woman who we found in, like, the first video.
All right.
After
It
she
doesn't
died.
look like it has a timed detonator. There must be
After she
a
died.
somewhere.
It was her
You're
ghost.
right.
Well, she didn't die in this pathway, so clearly she had enough
Oh,
time
that's
to
true.
set the bomb.
If we can get it, we should be
That's
safe
true.
as long as we don't press the button.
Or whoever killed her disposed of the corpse quickly and quietly.
It was me. I found it while Quark and I were investigating this area. We split up to collect the rest of you.
How did you know it was a bomb?
I have...
Wait,
seen
what?
it before.
When?
I'm not sure.
Because of the amnesia?
Yes. Are you kidding me? We don't even know if it's a real bomb. Are you gonna tell me you believe that guy who can't remember his own fucking name knows a bomb when he sees it?
No. Kay is right. That's a bomb. I'm sure of it. How do you know?
Those don't look like the bombs from Mario, so I'm not sure if it's a real bomb either.
We're gonna go into some depth about what kind of bomb it is.
Yeah.
It's an antimatter bomb, which means it doesn't matter. We're just gonna forget about it and keep moving.
Oh, that's complicated. Let's get out of here then. Now, Michael, do you think if the viewers have been paying enough attention that they could figure out who's planted the bomb by now?
I think so. I forget if we've gotten the password for one of the bombs yet. But by the end of this, you know, by the end of the Alice ending, we'll know for sure who planted all the bombs.
Okay.
But I don't really know anything else. I see. Can you explain it to him, Tenmyoji?
I don't want to say anything just in case, but I feel like there was one part in one of the previous videos that should pretty much clue them in into who the culprit is here.
You want me to do it?
Yes, please.
I'd have to go back and look, but I think you can figure it out, but you haven't been explicitly told. Whereas in this one, the person's going to confess.
We usually refer to bits
Okay,
of
so
matter.
I will remain quiet then.
But there are also these things called antiparticles. For example, an electron is a particle with a negative charge.
Oh man, now we have
It has a
science
sort of
class
opposite,
again.
which is the antiparticle called the positron.
Ugh.
It has a positive charge.
It's gonna kill you. That's all you guys need to know. Get out of the room.
So,
What's a positron and an antiproton? Oh no.
That's
antimatter
yeah.
is a
That's
general term that covers all the
I could explain, but it's not that interesting, and it would take a little while.
The thing that's interesting about
Are there whole universes of antimatter somewhere to balance out real matter?
They both sort of cancel each other out. When they cancel each other out, though, it
I'm not a good enough physicist to answer
Oh, I never
that
took
question.
physics, so I don't know. I'm looking it up on Wikipedia right now, and it has something to do
Oh.
with quarks. So, okay, I'll accept that. I never learned about quarks either, so I'm good.
She's telling you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Oh, can she explain it in
And
terms of
more.
boys and girls and babies or something?
Oh yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, she can.
When boys and girls get together, they explode and leaving babies.
That's how children are made, right?
Then when you put them together, they disappear. Because their opposite elements cancel each other out. Like when a plus cancels out a minus, you get 0.
Wait a minute, I thought negative and positive are attracted to each other.
You also get, I know, a baby!
Well,
Exactly.
these aren't like negative and positive charges, though.
Oh, okay.
Energy from the annihilation. It's not a real baby, of course, but
I don't know, that's why they told me why electrons go around in a circle around the
that's kind of a
protons.
strange explanation. You followed it, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but that thing under the bed isn't going to be making a baby. Just how big of an explosion are we gonna get here?
So question, is this scientifically possible today, or are people unable to make annihilation bombs?
The mass lost during annihilation will be converted to energy.
I think bombs do a pretty good job of annihilating things.
Yeah. I don't-
I
I don't- So I don't know for sure. I don't think there's a good way to contain antimatter,
Let's say that it has 350 milligrams of
but I'm not positive on that. I don't. My knowledge on bombs isn't as extensive as my knowledge of pressure exchange suits.
That means annihilation would produce roughly 63
I could probably tell you more about how antimatter works in Star Trek than anything real physics could explain.
Yeah.
What the? You've got to be kidding me. There's only 350 milligrams of stuff in there.
Well, technically it's 700 milligrams.
Every time I do commentary on one of these videos, I keep confessing things that feels like I don't actually know anything, I just talk a lot, but I do have a very
Yeah.
specialized field of knowledge that has nothing to do with anything we ever talk about on these videos or in the podcasts or anywhere else.
It's not like we ever talk about the stuff which happens in the video itself, though.
That's less than 1,000th of a gram.
No, we're talking about
So you'd only get about
antimatter and stuff. That's related to what's going on.
right? What does that
We just don't happen to know a lot
About as
about
much
it.
explosive power as 1 ton of TNT.
A ton?
Yes. Well, approximately.
And how exactly should I not worry about that? That's enough to blow up a 10-story building.
Well, that's a bright side of what's going on,
But
Alice.
it's a lot less powerful than an atomic bomb. We don't know how big this place is.
I don't know anything
Yeah, it'll
about
kill us,
TNT
but it's not like
either.
it'll kill us
Yeah.
as bad.
Perhaps, but how do we know this is the
It is bomb number 3, yeah.
I mean, look at it carefully. It's got a number 3. Do you see it?
So that blue thing in the center of the bomb is the antimatter, right?
Bombs are numbered.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Antimatter is blue. And there's the USB port on the right-hand side of the bomb. Okay.
This is the final bomb either.
The one on the left is a blinking light which turns on when the bomb is activated.
Anyway, we can't just sit here and do nothing. We should move it. Somewhere.
Where are you gonna move it, Dio?
Yeah. He's going to put it under his top hat.
No! Don't touch it!
Ooh. Alice's angry face is scary.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Have you got a death wish or something? This bomb is here because somebody planted it. Do you really think they didn't rig it to go off if some idiot tried to move it?
Then what the fuck are we supposed to do?
We'll just have to leave it be for now.
So how is the bomb attached to the bottom of the bed, I wonder? Duct tape or something?
Telling us we should just
I was going to say, I think it's a glue stick they used.
Okay.
It's probably gonna kill us all.
There's not much else we can
It's actually stapled.
Do you know
Alright,
what
that would
you're
make
off?
sense. Because they used anti-staples to
is away.
staple it.
Spill the beans, lady. How do we turn the damn thing off?
There should be an emergency deactivation password.
Reminds me of the time I lost a stapler once. I made a bunch of flyers for my missing stapler. I tried to hang them, you know, all around the neighborhood, but I couldn't attach them to
But you
anything
didn't-
because I lost my stapler.
You should have brought the tape with you.
Look again. You see it? Right here.
Yeah, no, there's nothing connecting it to the bottom of the bed, and
Device. We just
I
connected
probably should have examined the beds when I was going through the crew quarters, but I actually didn't.
Yeah.
There's a bed in every single room. It's a hint for the poster puzzle if you look at the beds, because they highlight the
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't there a
bands.
clue on one of them? Okay.
When you and I searched this
So, like, one bed has a hole near the person's arm, one bed has a hole near the person's thigh, so on and so forth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I vaguely remembered there was some sort of clue on the beds, but I couldn't think of what it was. That makes sense.
But really, I don't think the clue is necessary, because with the poster puzzle, you can't back away until you've scratched away all of the 4 areas with the symbols.
Yeah.
The other parts are optional.
After we finished the AB game, we all split up. But if someone planted it,
I feel like
before then-
in the cutscene afterwards, though, doesn't Sigma scratch him off anyway?
Oh yeah.
The game automatically assumes you scratched off the bikini area.
Everybody was all
Even though you can solve the puzzle just by scratching the arms and legs, and then it will automatically cut to the entire bikini is scratched off.
You know, I don't remember seeing.
Yeah, Sigma does that regardless. He doesn't care what you want.
Hmm. But that's a speedrunning tip for all you
Yeah.
speedrunners out there. Don't scratch off everything, just scratch the arms and legs.
That's a good life tip as well.
Yeah.
Now everybody thinks Sigma's guilty of setting the bomb.
Yep. I mean, where would he have hid the bomb? Like, where would he keep that at before?
Said that.
Uh-oh, Fi's gonna rat us out here.
Are you sure? Back when we were in the
Yeah,
AB,
she said she knew how the AB game worked, though. That's...
Yeah, well, now she's pointing out the fact that Sigma saw a vision of the bomb.
We've got to show all of them going ...
It's necessary, it's very important.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Quark didn't ...
Quark was busy eating Cheetos in the corner.
They set up
And
the
they set
bomb.
us up the bomb.
Yeah.
Haha.
Impossible. There's
Wait,
no
does
way
that mean I'm back
past
in
zero.
sync with you guys?
There's no
Oh,
way
that's
zero would let
fantastic.
I think so.
anyone
Yeah.
get in the way of the game going
My
forward.
efforts to fiddle with things until they broke and then unbroke themselves has paid off.
Yes, and we've got a full 8 minutes left.
Of course.
So, wait, here's where they decide to switch to 0 Senior and 0 Junior.
One behind all of this
Oh.
as Zero Senior, which would, of course, make the AI.
Oh, I read AI as Al.
Fine with
That would
me.
make the guy named Al Zero
Anyway,
Junior.
Whichever one it is, they're not unrelated to the person.
No, but seriously, why can't
Al's
they
the
just call it
janitor
0
that
and
works
0
here.
the third? That worked for the past hours.
I don't think it could be.
Yeah, these games don't seem to like giving one name and sticking with it. Like 999. Oh, this is my name. Well, we'll just call you this. But I'll also call you this other nickname.
Hmm.
Well, I still think that 0 the third is supposed to, like, that refers to the third Zero now as a whole. And so 0 Senior is the actual person in the suit. 0 Junior is the rabbit. And 0 the third is the whole.
Well, I
The whole
thought
thing.
it
I
was,
guess also
yeah,
Zero
0 the third, because this is the third nonary game throughout all of
Right.
history.
Yeah.
But I still don't see why our characters think it's impossible for 0 to have planted the bomb ahead of time.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to be saying that 0 couldn't have, nobody could have planted the bomb because that would have messed up the game, but I mean, the bomb could have been part of the game all along.
Yeah, he just said he would kill them if they got below 0 points. He doesn't have any qualms about that.
Yeah. From a storytelling perspective, it has to be Fi, because she was the second to last person they named before throwing you off the scent by going into detail about Quark.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it couldn't have been him. They're just going to show him shivering for a while. Okay, good.
He's the only one who had enough pocket space to hide a bomb in his hat. Snacks indeed.
Oh no, this is bad. Press the buttons on your bracelet.
Uh-oh, 4 minutes left.
We've only got 4 minutes until the chromatic doors open. Let's go then. You're right. This bomb thing is gonna have to wait until later.
I would have liked to have seen a little more detail on this map, either having the names of the rooms listed above them or little pictures of what was in the room or color of some sort, something.
That would have been nice.
Give you more to look at as they're moving around. Because I seem to recall the map in 999 had more of that kind of detail, right?
It had more detail. You could actually go over the room and say, like, you know, press the A button to see, oh, this is the hospital room. This is what's inside the room. So to have a little description of a room when you tapped on it.
Or it might be fun to have a little picture of your characters, like, running down the hallway in the bottom corner.
Being chased by little ghosts and everything.
We need to figure out who's going where and fast.
Good thing Fi's
We
here.
don't have time to wait for you to figure it out. Just pay attention.
I don't think Sigma even knows who his partner is this round. I think it's... Oh, it's Luna, huh? Yeah, I don't think he actually checked
excellent.
it.
Good.
Yeah. Huh. Alright, so...
Yeah, this whole color-changing thing got to be too complicated for me. I was fine with our bracelets have numbers that add up to the doors we can go through. That I was cool with. This, I just can't keep track of it.
Well, it's also a little bit confusing because the the colors are different for the second set of doors.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And then the solo and pair and all of the different modifiers.
I think it just gave the game developers more freedom to actually force different characters to be together.
I can't imagine the kind of planning that went into a game like this. I mean, you have to imagine they had pages and pages spread out on a table, or huge spreadsheet or PowerPoint presentation of, and this we'll do this and then that. Just the amount of effort that had to go into, okay, well, if this happens, there's this ending, but this is related in the other ending, but they can't go here until they've done this, and
it's got to be like that room from A Beautiful Mind where there's just like random things pasted all over a wall and strings connecting everywhere.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of the new Sherlock Holmes movie.
Okay,
Iron
yeah, it's almost exactly the same thing.
Something like that as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Or we'll never have time to argue it out. Why don't we let the people who are at the most disadvantage right now decide?
I think, to go on that, there are certain pathways where you don't have a choice. So, I mean, like, for example, there are some pathways here where you don't get to choose which door you go through the second time around.
We'll be fair and take a
So I think they did that to help simplify things in some situations.
Exactly.
No, I don't want that, Alice. You already betrayed us.
Option C. I want to go with Sigma and Luna. My. Looks like you're not so fond of me anymore. Do you agree with him, Luna? I'll just let Sigma.
Luna.
Fine.
I like option C too. Clover and I were a pair for the first round, so I feel that I can trust her. What about you, Quark?
That's fine with me. So that's 3 votes for option C.
Yeah, actually, I think this looks like it's turning out to be one of the endings where you don't get a decision at all. It looks like everybody's going to decide for you.
Well, no, we got another option here.
And we went with Fi instead. The end. Game
Yeah.
over.
I really
No, no, no. I think they literally will force you to go through the door, and you don't actually get to vote.
Oh, really? Because it looks like we've got either Phi or Alice.
Mhm.
It looks like we're splitting the votes here.
Well, no, I think it's interesting because, I mean, we allied with Alice, and so she decides, hey, the people... No, what is it? If we betray Alice, then she's going to say, hey, the people with the least BP should decide the vote. But because we allied with Alice, she totally throws away the decision that people with low BP should vote.
Yeah, now that's not happening.
Only when she has low BP are we going to let the low BP people decide.
Oh, you're right. These jerks.
Completely ignore Sigma's feelings.
Yeah, what? How did everyone else vote? How did 4 votes win? It seems like you need 5 for a majority.
You would need 5 for a majority. Huh. Maybe they just
The
decided...
majority of people who felt like accepting votes.
Yeah. Well, they were able to trick Sigma here with some easy numbers.
Well, Luna abstained, right? She decided to vote with Sigma, but they didn't count her vote with Sigma's.
Oh, they just counted them as one grouping? That's not fair.
Yeah, that's totally not fair.
So on the other side of this door, do we get to go to one of the rooms with cabbages and cork hats?
No, I'm afraid we're going to go into a garden. But we're going to see vegetables.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There's kind of
Those are almost like cabbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just we're not...
I think this was a pretty good room, too, coming up.
All right.
All right, see you later, everybody.
Bye.
Toodles. Whoosh.
Whoosh. Wow.